Hey, so originally this video was supposed to be this fully edited, in my mind, masterpiece, explaining this full theory with the full script I typed out. I've had it typed out forever, and I just never gotten around to editing or recording the voiceover for it. And now with my One Piece reviews, they've became a little less, in my mind, serious. I can kind of put my own thoughts into it. I figured now's probably the best time to do this. I can get it out. It's done. On top of that, it's done in the way that I like. Because I don't like sitting down with a script and just reading in a monotone voice. Because that's just not me. It's not expressive enough. And there are some things in the script I kind of want to hit on. I'm going to read my full script and then I'll give some random thoughts about it. But in case you didn't read the description and look at the thumbnail and put together what this video is about. This is a theory about our favorite redheaded Yonko. So without further ado, I'm just gonna read the script and just let it speak for itself. This should be a completely unedited recording. I just have OBS recording my Photoshop on my art tablet. So I have that. I have the visual up. I like the new visual I made, FYI. I made it. Graphic design is my passion. But yeah, this was one of the things that I kept teasing at the end of like every chapter review. Whenever I said, "Oh, there's a theory coming," no, the theory's here now. So yeah, this was a theory that I've been cooking for I cooked it, like I thought about it, typed it out, reworked some things, deleted some stuff because I didn't like it. This is a workshopped theory. This is probably one of the most well put together scripts I have ever come up with. And there was a point in time when all of my videos were scripted out ideas. And that's not how I like to do things. Now I just want a free flow. If I could, I would rework this to just be bullet points for me to hit on with a brief description. But I don't want to do any disservice to previous me who typed out the script because I think I did a pretty good job with it. And yeah, let me just read the script. How would I stop fucking ranting like a madman? Any stutters, any slip ups, I'm gonna leave them in because fuck going into fucking Premiere and cutting stuff out. That's gonna take too long. I just want this video out at this point. One of the most unknown characters as of the finale of Wano is actually a character we've known since chapter 1. The redheaded Yonko, Shanks. Basically, everything about him is a mystery, from his motives to his possible relationship with Makino, the bartender from the first chapter. In this video, I'll propose an idea for a large chunk of his mystery being his origin, as well as showing that a certain child in the East Blue may be a bigger deal to the world than we think. From offhanded dialogue from Roger and Rayleigh during Odin's flashback, we have a vague idea that the Roger pirates have sailed with babies on board before. This lines up with what we know about both Buggy and Shanks, having grown up on the Oro Jackson for as long as we know. As a post-time skip, Shanks as well as Buggy are 39 years old. This would make them about 15 when Roger was executed, which was 24 years ago. 38 years before the series started properly, with Luffy setting sail, Goldie Roger, along with Monkey D. Gart, beat the Rocks Pirates led by Rox D. Xebec. This was the fall of the Rocks Pirates, leading to 3 of the original Yonko going solo off this defeat. Xebec can be presumed to have either been killed in the battle or killed by the government as soon as being captured to cover up what Xebec had done up to that point, and possibly any knowledge he may have of the Void Sentry. We know from Roger and Garp's interaction prior to Roger being executed that both of them believe that the son should not be blamed for the sins of their father. This led to Ace being taken in by Garp, which then led to Dodon taking care of the kid until he set sail at age 17. Garp did a very similar thing with Luffy, taking in his grandchild so he wasn't judged for being the son of the world's most hated criminal, Monkey D. Dragon. With this, we see Garp actually believes what he and Roger talked about, willing to do it multiple times, and it wasn't just a throwaway thing. What if, during the battle, Roger had found out Xebec had a son, either with him or in one of the oceans, and took him in upon defeating Xebec at God Valley? This would reinforce the belief of sons not inheriting the father's sins, with Roger covering up the child's true parentage and taking him into his own crew. The child of one of his most dangerous enemies being welcomed happily into a crew, very similar to how a certain Fire Fist was welcomed with open arms into Whitebeard's crew despite his relation to Roger. Roger doing this for the child would allow the soon-to-be Pirate King to nurture any inherited strength the child may have due to his parentage, while offering him a proper family in the crew if you haven't put that together yet. Wait, what? Sorry, that was a misread. See? That's the benefit of doing these just, like, raw, no editing. I get to fuck up like that, and you guys get to see. While offering him a proper family in the crew. If you haven't put together yet, and I hope you have, I'm proposing that Shanks is the son of Xebec, with the possible names of either Shanks D. Xebec or Rox D. Shanks, inheriting the hidden initial D from his notorious father. This would make Shanks both the son of the world's most dangerous pirate captain, as Xebec was able to wrangle a young Whitebeard, Big Mom, Kaido, as well as multiple others of a similar caliber, as well as making Shanks a member of the D-Clan. And do we know any characters who were born to hated or notorious criminals who are also members of the D-Clan? Maybe a certain Gum Gum Boy and Fire Fist? This could add another reason to why Shanks attempted to stop the Paramount War and save Ace, not wanting the young, promising pirate, who was also the son of Shanks' captain, to be killed for merely being born. If Shanks truly is the son of Xebec, that might explain why Shanks has such a high bounty, even though we have seen him do literally almost nothing. If even through their hardest efforts to hide Xebec's very existence, if the man who threatened the world government had a child, they would be completely terrified. Comparable to how, upon learning of Ace's heritage, the world government decided to make a very public display of ending the Pirate King's bloodline. Add the fear of the Xebec name with the fear of the hidden initial D, and you can see why the government may be a little generous with Shanks' bounty. Add on the fact that he has potent Conqueror's Haki, is a nearly equally skilled swordsman, if that with the world's greatest swordsman, Dracul Mihawk, and that Shanks is actually an active pirate still on the seas, and yeah, Shanks having a 4,048,000,000 berry bounty as of 6 years ago, a mere 4 years after they left Dawn Island, still a relatively small-time crew. None of this is to undersell Shanks and his crew's strength, though. They were still able to instill absolute terror into the admirals, as well as Shanks being able to clash with Whitebeard. If Shanks truly is the son of Xebec, as well as having a D, this would further his relationship with Luffy as well. This may explain why he was willing to save Luffy, losing an arm as well as give him the straw hat that he got from his own captain. We know that from Post and his lobby that Luffy doesn't know that he was born to a notorious revolutionary until that point. Meaning that Garp, Makino, and Dadan, just to name 3 people who could possibly know, never told him. Shanks could have learned through Makino, Dadan, or Garp, even though Garp was very disapproving of Shanks merely being on the island, so probably through Dadan or Makino, that Luffy has a notorious bloodline and is being hidden to prevent anything negative happening. And immediately see the parallels from him to Luffy, and similar to how Roger gave the straw hat to a child of a notorious criminal, Shanks does the same thing with Luffy, wanting to keep the cycle of care and compassion the straw hat represents going. This may also explain why Shanks has kept his eye on Blackbeard. When the red hair talks to Whitebeard about calling off Ace, it is made very clear Shanks has an interest in Marshall D. Teach, Blackbeard. At least since Shanks received the scar on his eye from him. The point grows if you consider 2 things, both coming from post-time skip. The first is the fact that Teach has claimed Hakinoso Island, or I believe it was called Full Metal Island. I forget. The birthplace of the Rocks Pirates, where they were founded. The second is the name of Teach's flagship being the Saber of Xebec. Both of these show Teach has some interest in Xebec, possibly seeing himself as an inheritor of Xebec's will, which would give him a better view of Teach's motives. If Shanks truly is the spawn of Xebec, he may either have an anger towards Blackbeard for trying to claim that fear for his own, or a fear that Teach may lead to the same scale damage as Xebec, affecting generations to come. We also, since the time skip, have seen the red hair pirates merely in small moments every so often. So we can't dismiss the fact that the man with the red hair will make his move soon, may be in reference to a direct assault on Blackbeard. Surprisingly, there are still more I'd like to discuss. A very widely discussed theory is that Makino's son may have a father in the red-haired Shanks. If both Shanks the Xebec and Makino and Shanks having a kid are true, that would mean the son also has the blood of Xebec flowing through his veins. Even though it'd be 1/4 blood, it's still enough. This shows that Shanks, either for himself just to have a family, or to spite the world government, keeps his bloodline going, presenting even more of a threat to the established world. This point doesn't have as big of an effect as the whole Shanks the Xebec theory, but I just thought I'd comment on it since it does get slightly affected by the base theory. Now, there is a big point I'd like to add. Yes, add even more stuff. And this is off script. It's just something that I realized as I was reading. This script was made while Luffy and Kaido were still fighting, before Gear 5th was revealed. So this detail has not been in this. When we see Green Bull and Ko fighting, so Green Bull, Raizo, all them fighting right outside the Flower Capital, Shanks has such potent Conqueror's Haki that he's able to scare fucking Green Bull to the point where he just nopes out. And this is while he was on the coast of Wano, which does add to the fact that maybe he wasn't on his way to Blackbeard, but he could also have been on his way to Blackbeard because he did just kind of leave. Now I'm gonna continue the script. Now there's a big point I'd like to hit on, and it actually runs counter to the theory itself. As I've said earlier, this is being made while Act 3 of Wano has just wrapped up, and thus we don't have an answer to that interesting scene during the Reverie, in which Shanks shows up to the 5 Elder Stars, and even though they are face to face with a Yonko, continue with business as usual, and even act more annoyed than anything to Shanks. This, if Shanks is truly the son of Xebec, would not happen. The Gorosei wouldn't just dismiss the presence of potentially the most dangerous man in the world, at least to them in the world government. No matter how I looked at the scene, I could not find a way for the 5 of the highest celestial dragons would just allow the son of the greatest threat to their establishment to just sit down and talk to him. I just thought I should hit on it and admit, yes, it does potentially raise an issue in the theory. That is, again, off script, until you realize that the big reveal with the Gum Gum fruit, in the fact that it is actually the Hito Hito Nomi model Nika, the fact that Shanks knew this apparently because he bum rushed the ship, took it even though it was just a lowly devil fruit, acted really surprised when Luffy ate it, was horrified, all this stuff, it could potentially, and I know Grand Line Review made a video about it a while ago, lead to the downfall of Shanks and the rise of the villain Shanks theory. If you think about it, having their ally be the son of their biggest enemy, the Gorosei would be fucking ecstatic. But they might be slightly annoyed because of the fact that Shanks is we can kind of see the fact that Shanks is just this casual guy until you piss him off, like Green Bull did. So I think personally that I still think this is a very damning thing for the theory, but I'm just saying, like, villain Shanks is technically a possibility, and it's getting a little bit more stronger now that the Hito reveal happened. That's just what I wanted to say. If Shanks is truly the offspring of Rocksteady Xebec, that would mean the Battle of God Valley set all the original Yonko on their paths. Kaido, Whitebeard, and Big Mom going on their own paths immediately after the battle and the defeat of Rocks, and Shanks being set on his path after being adopted into the crew of the Roger Pirates. And this is a note that I added right before I started recording so I didn't forget. During the writing of this script, Film Red was both revealed and released, and according to users on Twitter, because I have not seen the movie myself, this was the biggest thing. I didn't want to release this video without seeing the movie and seeing what all they put in it for this point, but I'm deciding to do it just to bite the bullet. Apparently, the film confirms that Shanks was found by Roger in a treasure chest at God Valley. I didn't feel like rewriting the entire script because I thought, at least in my opinion, the points that I made other than Roger finding him made sense. So kind of the inherited will of the Straw Hat. the continually passing down of it to a child of a known enemy or a known threat, notorious criminal. The fact that, in my mind, Roger finding Shanks at God Valley, while it is very important to the theory, is not the linchpin. And since the movie just straight up confirmed it, with the very questionable canon of this entire film, it doesn't technically confirm it, but it is, I'm going to take it as heavily implied to be canon. A lot of the stuff in Film Red, from what I've seen and heard, is implied to be canon, but it isn't canon until we see it. Like all the red hair pirates getting their strengths revealed. I mean, yes, I believe it, and I think it is canon, but I'm not going to take it as 100% canon until we see it in the manga. That is it. And now we get on to the points that I wanted to make off script. And I'm kind of drawing a blank on most of them. So, yeah, I'm just going to wrap it up here so I'm not rambling for too long. I also want this video to be kind of short, but that's kind of the downfall of doing a live recording, is the fact I kind of ramble a lot. But I hope you guys enjoyed this theory. It is a very widely publicized theory. People just kind of... I've seen replies to posts questioning Shanks' motives as literally just Shanks d Xebec. And yeah, it's a very obvious theory. But I thought I'd add a little bit more weight to it. Maybe throw my hat in the ring to offer some more evidence that no one has pieced together yet. But yeah, that's it. One note I do want to make is the Twitter users who have confirmed that Shanks was found by Roger, I believe, also said that Buggy was found as a little child. So I don't know where that plays into it. For all I know, Shanks could literally just be a random person, and Buggy could be the son of Xebec. That's the point I am right now. I will say, though, it's kind of interesting in my mind that if you take the scene at Marineford where Shanks gives Buggy the hat and then Buggy gives it to Law, you have three of the most... I want to say, the minority pirates, I guess. You have two survivors of the Roger Pirates, along with the only survivor of his country, getting that straw hat back to Luffy. That's it. I just thought it was funny. The fact that you have, quite potentially, the son of Xebec, then a Roger pirate, either being Shanks or Buggy, and then you have the only survivor of Flevance. That's a big pass for your hat. Jinbei never touched the hat. It just straight went from those guys to each other. And I don't think anyone else touched it, or, was a major part of it getting somewhere. But yeah, if you enjoyed the theory, let me know by commenting. Let me know your thoughts. There might be a huge piece of evidence I just missed, overlooked, whatever. But like I said, there's only so much time that I can put into a script, and this thing has been cooking since last December. So I'm kind of fucking done with it. If you liked the video, make sure to hit like. Let me know, because that is important. I do read all the comments. I don't reply to them all, but I at least get the notifications and look at them. If you're new and you just stumbled across my video for this theory, actually subscribe, because I have at least one more theory in the pocket that I could probably record the audio for soon and actually make that a fully edited video. So that'll be interesting. But I do have more theories coming. I do chapterly reviews on One Piece, even though I have not done one for the most recent chapter. I'm waiting for the new chapter to drop so I can just do a duo review along with Chainsaw, chapter 103, I believe. That'll come out later this week. I could also just do a backup, a clogged video before that chapter releases. We'll see, basically, is what I'm saying. But until next time, I guess, stay safe, have fun, read more manga, and never stop theorizing, I guess will be the tagline of this video. Okay, guys. Bye.